Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is time for another episode of Stock Car vs. Next Gen. Not going to be waiting super long to do another episode like I did in the past. I'm going to try and do these somewhat regularly. And yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Last time we took a look at Team N2O Cola, and this time we're taking a look at a very iconic and classic sponsor, being Nitroade. So, Nitroade is actually one of the first sponsors that Mattel made as a diecast, all the way back in 2006. Not really sure why they opted to go Nitroade first. Maybe they just thought he was cool. I don't know. But we have to admit, his design is pretty sweet, so can't really complain too much about that decision. Now, fast forward to Cars 3 in 2017, and we get two additional Nitroade racers, the stock car and the next gen. And we're going to take a look at the stock car first, as per usual, being Phil Tankson. So he shares the same model with Bobby Swift, which I do like. I really like the Bobby Swift model a lot. And, like a lot of the stock cars do, he's got a happy expression, unlike the roboticness of the next gens. And, that immediately sets the two eras apart. Because the stock cars, they're happy to be here. They want to make some friends, but the next gens, they just care about winning. Now, one thing that is a little bit disappointing is that right off the bat, you can see the logo barely changed over so many years. If you look, it looks like the writing is a little bit bigger, and the flame behind the word nitro is like a darker, almost maroon color instead of the orange on Aiken here. It looks like the white outline around the logo is a lot thicker. But other than that, the actual logo itself looks virtually identical, which is kind of interesting. Usually the logos change somewhat between generations, but here it's pretty much the same. Now, if we look at the kind of overall paint jobs that these two racers share, again, it's very similar. They use all the same colors first, so they use black, orange, and white. They don't add in anything new, they don't take anything away. They keep the same color palette for Nitroade, which is nice. Consistency is key. But one thing that you might have noticed is that, the design is just so similar. So if we look at Aiken here, we have the orange kind of ball of flame with the white curved outline. The flame extends up top here and fizzles into the back. And if we look at Phil, same kind of deal. Starts over here with the white outline and curves over the fender. The flame that was up here is gone. Now it just continues all the way straight across, segueing into the side Nitroade logo by the gas cap, which is now fully covered by the flame. And we have a more subtle flame design down here. Also, the number 28 is much, much larger now, I guess, so people far away can see that this is number 28 racing. And the white outline up here is a lot larger as well. It goes fully over the fender and it says light year above it, whereas here it does not. It's a lot thinner of a line. It's less outlined. Up top here, the most drastic change, I think, occurred, where instead of having, the flame kind of start up here and then getting cut off, but continuing down here, this is now one solid orange piece. And it's not even made to look like a flame, it's just an orange piece. It's like a bright orange here and then transitions into almost a dark red down here. Otherwise, that's basically it. On the back here, we do have Nitroade's logo with the catchphrase printed again, much larger, high energy drinks. Whereas down here, the Nitroade logo is a lot smaller. They cram in more of the flame design on the spoiler. His number 28 is on the back, and it's got two kind of flames coming downward, whereas here that is not present. Overall, Phil Tankson is hardly an evolution. I think they got a little bit lazy with this design. Compare this to someone like Parker Breakston, who uses a lot of the elements of its predecessor, but changes it up in a way that it still looks somewhat different. Phil Tankson here just looks like a slightly different Aiken Axler, and that is very disappointing. I don't have anything really against the design, because I think it is a good design. I just think, they should have changed it up a little bit more than they did. However, we have Tim Treadless, the next gen. Funnily enough, one of the first next gens that Mattel decided to make for Cars 3. So we're kind of continuing the trend of Nitroade racers getting made very early on. Phil Tankson came out after the movie, but Tim Treadless came out before. So it's an interesting choice there. Now, he is completely different. Every single element that was present on Aiken and even Phil is not present on Tim Treadless, which is a bit interesting. You have like H.J. Hollis, again, who we looked at in the last video, who still kind of pulled from Parker a little bit, and Tim is doing that here, but it just looks so different from Aiken and Phil, who basically have like the same design, and then you have Tim, which completely flips the design on its head in a good way. So, the Nitroade logo has now been completely revamped. It is now a much larger, and it has a different font. Just says Nitroade. They've removed the high energy drink slogan. The O now is kind of outlined and has a flame coming off of it. So they've removed the kind of busy flame design that the other racers had and have now condensed it to just the O. And basically, what they've done is they've made orange the primary color instead of black, which is cool. And the orange comes all the way up top, and it follows this like white outline. The orange doesn't really go past it, and it follows that even down to the sides here, which is awesome. So on the side here, it's pretty basic. They don't really have any crazy designs, just as number 28 with the flame over top of it. They've made it much smaller than both Aiken's number and Phil's number, which is a little bit interesting. Normally, I feel like they would have tried to make it larger, but no, they've kind of condensed it. It's now smaller than both, which is fine. And obviously a lot fewer contingency sponsors than the previous racers had. The orange continues over here and down underneath where the exhaust pipes are. And then on the back, you can actually see the design, like the kind of like white outline really just continues around the whole car because it goes up top, down, and slices the back in half almost. So you have like a half orange over here with the 28 and half black with the Nitroade logo over there. And they do add in like a hint of maroon. I don't know if this is accurate to the movie. I'm assuming it might be. And then we've got more of that maroon outline there and up top. And the new Nitroade logo is printed on the now maroon spoiler. And you can see a white line going across it there. So, yeah, that is basically Nitroade. Oh, I didn't really discuss it, but yeah, pretty much the black, which almost kind of looks like a brown under the right light, kind of continues, starts over here by the 28 and kind of continues up into the hood area where the Nitroade text is. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the next gen to stock car legacy here, or I guess it should be the other way around. And I think this one is personally a clear winner. I have to give it to Tim Treadless. They just completely innovate the design. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think consistency is key, so this is a somewhat large departure from what Nitroade was, but they keep enough of it there. Like, they still use the same colors, they just flip around where they are, and I don't know. I think Phil Tankson is just too similar. They didn't evolve him enough. If they kept some of the core elements of Aiken, but still changed him up a little bit more, I think I would give it to Phil. But I think I'm going to give it to Tim. His design is just really, really cool. And I look at it and I think that that is a proper evolution of what Nitroade could look like. So, Next Gen wins out on this one once again. So, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this debate? Who wins for you? Is it Phil Tankson or is it Tim Treadless? And let me know maybe what other sponsors you'd like to see me cover in this series. I have, like I said, I have a list of ones that I'm going to do first, but then once that list kind of runs out, definitely going to be looking for some suggestions for that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.